Hey, Lunamoth here. Okay, so all week I've been getting warnings about a spider. A black widow, a spider, a spider, a black widow. I was in the store and a little kid goes, "Mommy, look, a spider." Then I'm driving through my neighborhood and my neighbors have put up Halloween decorations and they are spiders with spotlights on them. Like giant, giant spiders. Okay, so here is the symbolism of that. Okay, follow another blog sometimes, check in on it because this person does prophecies as well. And they have like a glossary of kind of like what certain things that they are shown mean. Okay, so when he is shown a spider, it is a spider is used to describe the worst type of violent, sinister act. It has been used to describe both terror attacks and school shootings. Okay, so I kept hearing Black Widow, this song by Iggy Azalea, playing in my car over and over again, or when I walk into a store, it'll turn on, or it's ridiculous. So the main lyrics say, "I'm gonna love you until you hate me. I'm gonna show you what's really crazy, like the beginning of all things mad. You should have known better than to mess with me, honey. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you like a black widow, baby." And it talks about like a twisted cat and mouse game. You used to be thirsty for me, but now you want to be set free. This is the web that you weave. So now, baby, rest in peace. Post the lyrics and the song so you can check it out. Um, so there's Black Widow. So there's a few sides to this warning, prophecy, whatever you want to call it, actually. A few things about actual black widow spiders. They like to stay in dimly lit spaces or in the darkness. Um, they produce messy, irregular webs. These are not the pretty, beautifully weaved webs. These are like tangled, messy webs, usually close to the ground. They're very, very strong as well. Um, there's like a myth that they eat their mate, and that's why they are called a black widow. And there is Black Widow, the character from the Avengers series or Marvel Comics. Her name is Natasha Romanoff, and she is a Russian spy. She's known as a femme fatale. She is the only female in the Avengers and the only spy in the Avengers. All the other Avengers are heroes, or like the Hulk, which is like this, I don't know what to call him, freak of nature, kind of. Um, and she is the only spy. She's also like an assassin, that kind of thing. She was actually, before she changed sides, so to speak, she was part of the KGB, and she was a part of a group of female sleeper agents, elite female sleeper agents that were trained in the Black Widow program, the Red Room Academy. Okay. Um, so the KGB was in Russia during basically from 1954 to 1991, and it was like the security agency, the government security agency, um, and it changed names several times until 1991, but it was basically still the KGB. Um, Basically, they're known for being like brutal assassins and kind of like where the leftovers of the Russian mob come from. While our good friend Vladimir Putin worked as like a low-ranking KGB officer during the 80s when he was in Germany. So he's connected to the KGB. Um, it's connected to the Cold War, all of that kind of thing. Um, and also the Red Army, which was the Red Workers and Peasants Army. Um, they changed the name of that as well, but still, as slang, it was called the Red Army. So there's all this red, the Red Room Academy, the Red Army. Anything like Rusk or Russian is usually symbolized by red. The Soviet Army, Red Army, this was going on like in the time of the Bolsheviks, um, just a lot of unrest, a lot of change, and the Civil War in Russia that was happening. There's all of this red tying in, and then um, black widows on their stomach, like on the belly of the black widow, they are famous for having an hourglass shape, which is actually two triangles that are mirrored, um, and it's a red hourglass shape to let you know that this thing is poisonous and dangerous. So, red stomach, red army, red room, um, and females, like the Black Widow was a female character, the only female in the Avengers, and Black Widows are known to be female. I mean, there are male of the species, but the ones with the red stomach are female. All of this to say, I've been getting a lot of stuff about Russia lately, but not really making any connections. I think this is having to do with it. I got a warning from Russia probably a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, like 2.5 months ago, where I heard um, the song "What Would You Do with a Drunken Sailor?" Except this was when I woke up. Except the words were "What would you do with a Russian soldier early in the morning?" I originally was looking up Black Widow, as in Natasha Romanoff, and found out that she was a Russian spy. Of course, Russia stood out to me, and then the song by Coldplay called Spies popped into my head. And the lyrics say, I awake to find no peace of mind. I said, how do you live as a fugitive down here where I cannot see so clear? I said, what do I know? Show me the right way to go. And the spies came out of the water, but you're feeling so bad 'cause you know the spies hide out in every corner, but you can't touch them, no, 'cause they're all spies. They're all spies. I awake to see that no one is free. We're all fugitives. Look at the way we live. Down here I cannot sleep from fear. No, I said, which way do I turn? I forget everything I learned. Then it talks about the spies. And it says, and if we don't hide here, they're going to find us. If we don't hide now, they're going to catch us where we sleep. And if we don't hide here, they're going to find us. The spies came out of the water, and you're feeling so good because you know those spies hide out in every corner. But they can't touch you, no, because they're just spies. They're just spies. So there's that song. And then also, I went to the Grand Canyon once I quit my job, and I was driving through to like the north side of the Grand Canyon, and there was this, I don't even know how to explain it. There was a field, like on to the right side of the road from me, so I pulled over because I saw these giant dandelions that I wanted to take a picture of. So I walk out to take a picture of the dandelions, but as I'm walking, I notice all of these spider webs floating through the air, like free floating strands of spider webs. And there was like hundreds of them, long, drifting spider webs. It was like mesmerizing because I've never seen anything like that before. So there's these individual strands, and they would just shimmer in the sun and like almost be like opalescent as they were drifting by. So I'm standing in this field and there's just all these spider webs drifting by me, like flying, floating, like it was surreal, like some kind of weird fantasy land. And I wasn't scared because they weren't like an actual web, it was just the strands going by, but they were thick and they were long, and I had just never seen anything like that. So I walk out farther into the field because I'm trying to take pictures of it. But they're spider webs. You can't get it on photo very well. And they're moving, so it's really hard to capture. I'm standing in the middle of this field, and they're just floating by me. Today, when I was looking up all of the stuff about black widows, I finally found out what that was. Okay, so there's this phenomenon called ballooning. When the baby spiders hatch, they basically make like a parachute for themselves out of a web. And they use this web to basically like fly, like how a baby bird would fly the nest. This is how they fly the nest. So they use this like web strand to have the wind carry them somewhere else. If I had known when I was standing in that field that those strings of web had baby spiders on them, I would have freaked out. But when I was looking at them, it didn't look like there was anything on them. But okay, so it's called ballooning, and basically it's like a little parachute, like a little baby spider parachute. So they attach themselves to the end of this long strand, and they fly off into the wind. Wherever the wind carries them is where they go. Okay, so I'm trying to write this down, and I have my page of notes so that I would be able to know what to talk to. Here is that, and then the other side. So I was trying to write it down, and I ran out of room on the first page, and I already had this written on the other page. 99 red balloons. I had already had that written down. The only place that I could write ballooning was right under 99 red balloons, which is a song prophesying, or that I've used to talk about war coming. And it has been re-emphasized to me. There's like a lyric in the song that says, "The war machine springs to life and opens up one eager eye." So, okay, I think this spider thing, basically to tie this all together, is not only about some kind of terror attack, maybe a school shooting. Oh, I also forgot to say, when I was hearing the Black Widow thing, there was a car that drove right by me that had a spider web painted on the window, like a Halloween decoration, with a spider in it. And it was the date, October 25th, was written on the back of the car with the name of an elementary school, because it was advertising some kind of like Halloween bash that was at the school. It's called like Boo Bash or something like that. But the date, October 25th, and this spider web are right there, along with an elementary school. So when this person in their glossary was talking about school shootings and terror attacks, it made me think of that car with the spider web and that date on it. So I think this is tying together, like, there's going to be some kind of violent, horrible terror attack, and also there is war coming with Russia. There's going to be problems with Russia, there's going to be unrest with Russia, and there's going to be little baby spiders ballooning and parachuting wherever the wind takes them. So, and little spiders are little spies, little avengers, and I guess we'll see what happens with that. So in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, good night.